Perfect. Good picture. Great picture. And I'm recording at the moment.
You see?
I'm recording at the moment, yeah. Just turn him around. Let me see him a bit, yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see him. I'm the new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Oleksandr Usyk. Go on, champ.
Yeah, we're working really hard for it. We're working really hard for it. This kid can fight. This kid can really fight. He's going to have his chance against Glowacki. He's going to have his chance. Because Glowacki is not going to be playing with him. You know, we're forced to put this shit together really quick because he's going to have to go out there and win. This is his chance to make history, to make a history fight, you know. He's trying to do it with 10 fights. You know, the critics are saying that he's too, you know, he doesn't have enough fights to go for the world title.
Okay. So what are you feeling at the moment? I mean, what are your how are you feeling? With all your experience coming together now with this fight, how are you feeling he looks?
I think that he looks in a position where he can go out there and pull it off. I think that, you know, with his amateur background, he should be able to pull this off.
Are you concerned, are you concerned about him going the distance, having to do the 12 hard rounds?
Am I what?
Are you concerned about him going the distance, having to do the 12 rounds at a hard pace?
Of course, I'm concerned about that. But this is something that he elected to do. This is something that he wants to do. He's the #1 contender, and he's going to have to push to do it. Of course, I'm always concerned about somebody going 12 tough rounds. But having said that, Glowacki hasn't looked good going 12 tough rounds himself. I mean, he struggled to make the 12 rounds with Cunningham. I thought if it had been a 15-round fight with Cunningham, Cunningham would have won the fight.
What does your guy bring to the table differently to Steve Cunningham?
I think he brings more poise. I think he's going to be more poised. Cunningham looked good. He never looked like he was comfortable out there. He never looked comfortable. He looked jittery the whole fight. Jumping in,
do you think that's because he was coming down from heavyweight back down to cruiserweight so quickly?
No, I think that he was more anxious to impress. He was more anxious to impress, and he was jumping in, getting hit with nonsense punches, going down 4 times in the fight. And those punches that he went down from was nonsense punches. He never looked hurt to me. You know, he just got knocked down for being careless. You know, coming in squared up. He got knocked down, got up, and got knocked down again. In the same instance, virtually, you know. And he just never looked comfortable. He never found his footing in the fight. But when he did find his footing, which was late, which was 9th or 10th round, he started putting it on Glowacki, you know.
Are you concerned about this fight being in Poland, Al Heyman fighter?
I'm more concerned about it being an Al Heyman fighter than I am about it being in Poland. I think that's why they arranged to have the fight in Poland so that they have the whole deck stacked against Usyk. You know, where that the odds were against us winning the fight. You know.
A pro-Polish crowd, lots of shouting and screaming. You saw it with Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton had a lot of his fans, even though he won the fight, he had a lot of his fans cheering for him, out cheering Leo Santa Cruz's fans.
But I thought that Frampton legitimately beat Santa Cruz.
Of course, but
I thought that his technique was better, his application was better, his execution was better.
Of course,
you know?
That's not in question, but surely that the crowd will affect the judging as well. Glowacki won't have to do much to get the crowd cheering.
Well, I think it's the WBO judges going to do this. I don't think it's just going to be any judges. I think the WBO is going to mandate the judges for this fight. You know? So if the WBO mandates the judges, that takes a lot of that crowd stuff out of it, you know, which is only right. You can't have people from the same country judging those fights.
Okay.
Like I said, I expect a rugged fight, but I don't expect a real tough fight. Usyk has been there. He's seen this. He should be able to handle this guy, you know? He should be able to handle this guy. This guy is tough.
What gives you the confidence to believe that?
Well, basically my confidence is that this kid has had 300 amateur fights.
Can you turn the camera just slightly? Sorry, Uncle Bashir. Can you turn the camera slightly?
He's had 300 amateur fights. I mean, 300 amateur fights. He's been in big crowds, hostile crowds before. You know, winning the World Amateur Games, winning the Olympic gold medal. So he's been in hostile crowds before. He's been under pressure before. I'm more concerned about him going to 12 rounds in a tough fight than I am about us being in Poland. I'm more concerned about the rounds than I am about being in Poland.
Have there been any TV coverage, All Access or anything like that? Because it's an HBO fight.
I don't know who's going to come to the fight.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know who's going to come to the fight.
What's Usyk doing now? Oh, nice.
This is pre-mid-work. This is our warm-up, you know?
Okay.
He's a true professional. This kid's a true professional. He deserves to win. I know Glowacki is a true professional too, you know. So I mean, these guys want to fight, but I think Glowacki will have as much on his hand as Usyk has on his hands, you know.
Should Usyk come through this fight, would he go on and fight the WBC champion next, Tony Bellew?
I'm pretty sure we've got the Bellew next.
You would go after Bellew straight away. You wouldn't think about getting any.
Yes, because I think us going back, taking anything less than Bellew would be going backwards. I think Usyk is in a position where he can fight Bellew. Usyk is a star, and for us to fight anybody else other than Bellew would be like going backwards. So yeah, I think we should fight Bellew, and then I think we should go on to fight the IBF champions.
Lebedev, maybe?
Lebedev, yeah.
Who would you rather first, Lebedev or Bellew?
Doesn't make a difference to me. Doesn't make a difference to me. You know, I don't want to put one over the other. You know, even though Lebedev is probably the more experienced guy, the tougher guy, I don't want to. In that same breath, I'd say that Bellew proved his toughness too. So he deserves respect too. He deserves a lot of respect. I like what he did with Makabu. I like very much what he did. He went out there and he took care of business. And at the end of the day, that's what counts.
BJ Flores, what are your thoughts on BJ Flores?
Fighting Bellew?
Yes.
I think BJ Flores has gotten soft. I think his boat has came and sailed in the night, you know. I don't think that much of him against Bellew. I think Bellew gets to BJ Flores and wears him out, stops him in 10 rounds.
Any chance of Flores being able to cause the upset?
Well, I'll put it like this here. I think that Flores needs to make a statement in this fight. He needs an upset. He needs to go out there and win this fight. Because if he doesn't, he might as well just take a shovel and bury himself. He's done after this fight. He's had chance after chance after chance, and he seems to be moonlighting as a boxer. You know? What are we doing? We still working? Huh? What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, I think that BJ Flores is moonlighting as a boxer.
Yeah, okay.
You know? And he has to prove that he is a champion by winning the title now. But I think Bellew gets him. I think Bellew beats him.
In terms of sparring, can you reveal who you've been using for sparring for Glowacki, or is that a secret?
Well, I've been trying to get Antonio Tarver and Eddie Chambers to come in and box Usyk, but thus far I haven't been successful.
Okay.
But I've asked Antonio Tarver and I've asked Eddie Chambers to come in to box Usyk, but thus far I haven't been successful. Eddie Chambers is on vacation, he said, and Tarver wants a lot of things. He wants a lot of things. He wants to be the co-main event. He wants, excessive money. So I don't think that's going to happen realistically.
Okay.
He wants a lot of money. And he wants to, he just wants a lot of things that we can't provide for him.
Is that due to debts that people are rumoring that Tarver has?
I don't know. I don't know about that. And I can't say that I blame him. But the one thing I'm looking at, Tarver is like 47 years old. 37 years. What is he, 47?
He's in his 40s, that's for sure.
He's got to be at least 47 years old. And this is the thing that I'm asking myself, well, why would he, not want to come in and help a young boxer like Usyk, and keep himself in shape? We can probably put him on the undercard of Usyk, but not the co-main event. Who's he going to fight to be the co-main event, So we can't provide the kind of money that he's requiring. So that's something that's going to pass the night.
So who is there? Anybody else you've probably possibly brought in to help Usyk for this big fight? Have you done anything different? Have you done anything differently? For, obviously, this world title fight that you haven't done in other fights.
With Usyk?
Yes.
No, we're concentrating on Glowacki. When Glowacki is behind us, then we're concentrating on everything else. But looking in the past, when you don't concentrate on what's in front of you, you usually have problems. So I'm focusing solely on Glowacki right now.
Okay.
That's a tall order. He's an Al Haymon fighter. We're going to Poland, so this is a tall order. If young Usyk can pull this off, man, that'll be a great look. Because we beat the house. You got an Al Haymon fighter, and we in Poland. So they're stacking the deck against us.
Wow.
They're stacking the deck against us, We gotta really go in there. We gotta really go in there and beat this guy because they're stacking the deck against us. And we've seen other Al Haymon fights and Al Haymon fighters. We've seen this happen over and over. When they lose the fight, and somehow they get a draw or they get a split decision. We've seen that, right?
Yeah, we've seen it.
And it's happening over and over again, So in one sense, people say he's better than Don King, and in another sense, he's not better than Don King. Because I've seen a few fights where Al Haymon fighters lost the fight, and somehow they get a split decision, or they get a draw.
You could just say, in terms of him, he's just protecting his investments, wouldn't you?
Right, but in the name of hurting other people.
Of course.
You're hurting other people. These people work for their living.
Yeah, of course. I'm not condoning it, but
I've seen a couple of fights. I've seen a few fights where Haymon fighters were involved in the fights and they lost. And somehow they got a decision, or they got a split decision, or they got a draw. And you've seen it, and everybody's seen it. So I don't.
So are you technically saying, hey, you're going to have to go for the knockout to get win?
We're gonna go ahead and beat the hell out of this guy. We're gonna have to put him down a couple of times. We're gonna have to drag him through the mud and win the fight. But who are we to say or dictate where the fight is gonna be at? We can't dictate and say we ain't going to Poland. We can't turn down the fight.
Could you not have taken different route rather than fight for the WBO, the WBC, the IBS against Lebedev maybe?
Well, the powers that be, his promoters, the K2, they don't seem to have a problem with it. So I have little voice in that. But I don't really like the idea. I really don't like the idea. My preference would be to go some. But what the hell? We fight Belgium and Britain, you know. But Poland, Britain, I think we stood a better chance of winning, you know. Here, it's almost like we're fighting an uphill battle. We're fighting an out-human fighter in Poland, in this country. So we got to go over here and really kick on this guy. But I want to make it clear in the fight about who won the fight, whether it's still a fight or not. I want to make it clear to the viewing audience that we won the fight. And that's what I'm preparing for now, that Oleksandr Usyk wins the fight.
Do you have any concerns about Glowacki, his toughness, what he did to Huck?
Huck, I think, had a problem making the weight, number one, which is his fault. Huck probably took somewhat Glowacki for granted. I don't think he was really respectful of the guy. I think that he tired in the fight. I think he did a lot of crazy things after he knocked Glowacki down. He went out there and threw away a lot of valuable energy and didn't get the KO. And as a result, he was very tired. And never got that fatigue back. He never got it back. He never got the second win. Or third win that he might require to win the fight. You know.
How does Oleksandr Usyk feel about things?
You know, I never put in his mind. I never said nothing about us fighting in Poland. I never said we got to go out there and knock him out, or we got to do this, or he's out here. I never even mentioned that to him. I never mentioned it to him about he's out here fighting and we fighting in Poland. I think that in the ring is the two fighters and the referee.
Is he I know he's aware he's fighting for the world title, but is he aware the magnitude of this? Obviously, when he went to the Olympics and winning gold was one thing, but now the magnitude and the nation, the weight of the nation on his shoulders, going to fight for a world title.
Yeah. I know that he's very aware that it's Poland versus Ukraine. He's very aware of how perfect he has to be in the fight. You know, I think somewhere they're going to get in the shootout, and Usyk is going to win that shootout. Now, I make no bones about it. I'm looking for a knockout in this fight. I'm looking to knock Glowacki out with him. You know.
Okay,
you know?
I'm gonna have to cut soon because the connection's breaking up. But let me take a very quick final look at Usyk before we go. Yeah, the connection's breaking up because we're in the mountains.
You see?
Okay, it's just breaking up because the connection's really poor now. Okay, well there you have it, everybody. Bayloric TV exclusive footage of Oleksandr Usyk preparing for his world title fight in camp with Uncle James Ali Bashir. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to talk to him a bit more about better connection. Uncle Bashir, thank you so much.
I'll call you when I get back to the house.
Okay, we'll talk then. Thank you, Uncle.
Yes.